Imagine yourself waking up each morning with legs that feel strong, stable, and bursting with vitality. No longer do you dread the possibility of muscle weakness, the sharp pain of cramps, or the nagging fear of losing your balance and falling. The secret to this confident, active lifestyle lies in the power of proper nutrition, specifically 7 essential vitamins and minerals that can revolutionize your leg's strength and overall mobility. These nutrients are the cornerstone of maintaining an independent, self-assured, and fulfilling life. Whether you cherish dancing with loved ones, strolling through a sunlit park, or simply moving through your day with ease and grace. In this comprehensive in-depth guide, we'll explore the 7 most effective vitamins and minerals that will empower you to keep your legs resilient, powerful, and unbeatable. By weaving these vital nutrients into your daily routine, you can enhance muscle performance, safeguard bone density, improve blood circulation, and unlock a world of energy and well-being. This guide is designed for anyone who wants to stay active, mobile, and confident, no matter their age or current fitness level. I'd love to connect with you. Where are you joining me from today? Please drop a comment below with your location, thoughts, or personal experiences. If you have questions or insights to share, the comment section is a perfect place to spark a conversation. To ensure you never miss a health tip from Seniorhealth, subscribe and enable notifications for regular updates. Let's work together to build a stronger, healthier future, one steady step at a time. Before we dive into the first nutrient, let's set the context. As we age, our bodies undergo natural changes that can weaken bones, diminish muscle mass, and challenge our mobility. But with the right nutritional strategies, you can counteract these effects, reclaim your strength, and embrace a life of vitality. Let's begin with the first powerhouse nutrient on our list. 1. Vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin for robust legs and bones. We start with vitamin D, often called a sunshine vitamin, because our bodies produce it when exposed to sunlight. This nutrient is a linchpin for leg strength, particularly for older adults, as it plays a multifaceted role in maintaining bone health, muscle function, and overall mobility. As we age, our bodies experience a natural decline in bone density and muscle mass, a condition known as sarcopenia. This gradual deterioration can transform once effortless tasks, like climbing a flight of stairs, walking to the store, or even rising from a chair, into daunting challenges. A deficiency in vitamin D is one of the most overlooked culprits behind this decline, contributing to brittle bones, muscle weakness, and an elevated risk of falls and fractures. Vitamin D is absolutely essential for preserving the balance, coordination, and power needed to keep your legs strong, steady, and capable of supporting you through life's daily demands. Why is vitamin D so critical for leg strength? Let's break it down. First, it facilitates calcium absorption in the intestines, a process vital for maintaining strong, dense bones. Without adequate vitamin D, your body struggles to absorb calcium, leading to porous, fragile bones that are prone to fractures, particularly in the legs, hips, and lower extremities. A hip fracture, for instance, can be life-altering, often requiring surgery, extensive rehabilitation, or even leading to long-term care. But vitamin D's benefits extend far beyond bone health. It directly supports muscle function by enhancing protein synthesis and neuromuscular transmission, processes that keep your leg muscles performing at their peak. Fast-twitch muscle fibers, which are responsible for quick reflexes and maintaining balance, rely heavily on vitamin D to function optimally. Research, including a landmark study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, demonstrates that older adults with sufficient vitamin D levels exhibit stronger muscle fibers, improved coordination, and a significantly reduced risk of falls compared to those with deficiencies. The study found that individuals with low vitamin D were 2 to 3 times more likely to experience falls, highlighting the nutrient's protective role. Unfortunately, vitamin D deficiency is alarmingly common among older adults, and several factors contribute to this widespread issue. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at synthesizing vitamin D from sunlight, requiring longer exposure to achieve the same benefits as in younger years. For example, a 70-year-old skin produces about 25% less vitamin D than a 20-year-old's under identical sun exposure. Lifestyle changes, such as spending more time indoors due to mobility limitations, fear of skin damage from UV rays, or simply a preference for staying out of sun, further exacerbate the problem. Geographic location also plays a role. Those living in northern latitudes with limited sunlight, especially during winter months, are at higher risk. The result is a gradual, systemic weakening of the muscles, leading to shaky, unsteady legs and a heightened risk of accidents. Low vitamin D levels are also associated with chronic leg pain, stiffness, and inflammation in muscle tissues, which can make movement uncomfortable and discourage physical activity. For those who experience frequent leg cramps, stiffness, or unexplained discomfort, optimizing vitamin D intake can provide significant relief, restoring comfort and encouraging an active lifestyle. The consequences of ignoring vitamin D deficiency are severe and far-reaching. Beyond weakened legs, it increases the risk of osteoporosis, a condition where bones become so fragile that even a minor fall can cause a debilitating fracture, such as a broken hip or femur. These injuries can drastically reduce mobility and independence, often requiring months of recovery or leading to permanent disability. Hip fractures, in particular, are a leading cause of long-term care placement among older adults, with studies estimating that up to 50% of individuals never regain their pre-fracture level of independence. Vitamin D deficiency is also linked to weakened immunity, cognitive decline, and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, all of which diminish quality of life and overall health. For example, low vitamin D levels have been associated with a 20 to 30% higher risk of heart disease, underscoring its role in systemic health. The good news? Achieving optimal vitamin D levels is straightforward, accessible, and can have a profound impact on your leg strength and well-being. Start with sunlight exposure, the most natural and effective way to boost vitamin D production. Spending 15 to 30 minutes in direct sunlight, ideally in the morning or late afternoon when UV rays are less intense, can provide a significant boost. Expose your arms, legs, or face for maximum benefit, but be mindful. Sunscreen, while essential for protecting your skin from UV damage, can block up to 95% of vitamin D production. If you live in a region with limited sunlight, have darker skin, which requires 2 to 3 times more sun exposure to produce the same amount of vitamin D, or prefer to stay indoors, dietary sources can help bridge the gap. Fatty fish like mackerel, sardines, and salmon, fortified dairy products, milk, yogurt, egg yolks, and mushrooms are excellent sources of vitamin D. However, it's challenging to meet daily requirements through food alone, especially for older adults with higher needs due to age-related declines in absorption. Supplements are often necessary to ensure adequate vitamin D intake, particularly for those with limited sun exposure or absorption issues. Most experts recommend a daily dose of 800 to 1,000 IU, international units, for optimal bone and muscle health, though individuals with severe deficiencies may require higher doses, up to 2,000 to 4,000 IU, under medical supervision. A simple blood test, often included in routine checkup for older adults, can measure your vitamin D levels, ideal range, 30 to 50 nanograms per milliliter, and guide your supplementation strategy. For example, a 75-year-old woman with severe deficiency might work with her doctor to take a high-dose supplement for 8 to 12 weeks, followed by a maintenance dose, while someone with mild insufficiency might only need a standard daily supplement. By prioritizing vitamin D through sunlight, diet, or supplements, you can build stronger, more resilient legs, reduce the risk of falls and fractures, and enjoy greater confidence in your mobility. Imagine walking through a park or dancing at a family gathering, knowing your legs are steady and reliable. That's the power of vitamin D. 2. Calcium, the foundation of bones and muscle function. Next on our list is calcium, a mineral synonymous with strong bones but equally critical for muscle function and leg strength. As we age, the process of bone remodeling slows and bone mass gradually decreases, leaving us more vulnerable to fractures. The legs are particularly susceptible, with hip fractures, femur fractures, and stress fractures in the lower extremities being among the most common and devastating injuries in older adults. A minor fall that would have been inconsequential in younger years can lead to months of recovery or even permanent mobility issues if bones lack sufficient calcium. For example, hip fractures affect over 300,000 older adults annually in the U.S., with up to 20% of patients passing away within a year due to complications. However, calcium's role extends far beyond bone health. It's essential for muscle contraction enabling every movement from walking to standing up from a chair to maintaining balance during a quick turn. Calcium acts as a trigger for muscle fibers, ensuring smooth, controlled contractions that power your legs. Without adequate calcium, muscles can cramp, weaken, or fail to produce the force needed for stability, leading to slow movements, frequent leg cramps, and an increased risk of falls. Calcium also supports the structural integrity of bones, ensuring they can withstand the stresses of daily activities, from carrying groceries to climbing stairs. A diet lacking calcium leaves bones porous and brittle, heightening the risk of osteoporosis and stress fractures, which can severely limit mobility and independence. Osteoporosis affects over 10 million Americans, with women being 4 times more likely to develop it than men, making calcium a critical nutrient for long-term health. To ensure adequate calcium intake, turn to dietary sources first. Dairy products like milk, yogurt, and cheese are rich in calcium and highly bioavailable, meaning your body can easily absorb the nutrient. For example, a single cup of yogurt provides about 300 milligrams of calcium, nearly a third of the daily requirement. But dairy isn't the only option. Sardines with bones, almonds, leafy greens such as kale, bok choy, and collard greens, tofu, and fortified plant-based milks like almond or soy milk are excellent alternatives. Variety is key to steady absorption and optimal bone health, so aim to incorporate a range of calcium-rich foods into your diet. For instance, a breakfast of fortified oatmeal with almonds, a lunch with a kale salad, and a dinner featuring grilled salmon with steamed bok choy can provide a diverse and delicious calcium boost. The recommended daily intake for older adults is 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams, which can be achieved through a combination of foods and, if necessary, supplements. Vitamin D is a critical partner to calcium as it enhances absorption in the intestines, making the two nutrients a dynamic duo for leg strength and overall skeletal health. However, it's important to strike a balance. More calcium isn't always better. Excessive calcium, particularly from supplements, can lead to digestive issues, constipation, kidney stones, or arterial calcification, where calcium deposits build up in blood vessels, potentially increasing cardiovascular risk. Studies suggest that intakes above 2,000 milligrams per day from supplements may increase the risk of heart disease by 15 to 20%. So finding the right amount, tailored to your needs, is essential. A healthcare provider can help determine the best approach, especially if you have dietary restrictions or conditions like lactose intolerance. Physical activity also plays a vital role in calcium utilization. Weight-bearing exercises like walking, resistance training, or gentle jogging stimulate bone remodeling, directing calcium to the bones and muscles where it's needed most. For example, a 30-minute walk 3 times a week can increase bone density in the hips and legs by 2 to 3% over 6 months, according to research. Without movement, even high calcium intake won't fully fortify your legs, so staying active is non-negotiable. Imagine the freedom of chasing your grandchildren or hiking a favorite trail, knowing your bones and muscles are strong. That's the power of calcium. Calcium deficiency doesn't just weaken bones, it erodes your ability to move freely, participate in activities you love, and maintain independence. A lack of calcium can lead to muscle cramps, slow movements, and a higher risk of falls, all of which chip away at your quality of life. By prioritizing calcium through a balanced diet, supplements if needed, and regular exercise, you can build a foundation of strong bones and muscles, ensuring your legs remain steady, capable, and ready for any adventure. 3. Vitamin B12, the neuroprotector for leg strength and coordination. While calcium and vitamin D often steal the spotlight, vitamin B12 is a lesser known, but equally critical nutrient for leg strength and mobility. This vitamin is essential for neuromuscular function, ensuring the nervous system sends precise electrical signals from the spinal cord to the leg muscles. Without adequate B12, these signals can weaken, misfire, or slow down, leading to muscle weakness, instability, and a gradual loss of control over movements. Common symptoms of B12 deficiency include heavy, fatigued legs, numbness, tingling or sensation of pins and needles, which many older adults mistakenly attribute to normal aging. These symptoms can make walking feel laborious, increase the risk of stumbling, and erode confidence in movement. B12 deficiency is surprisingly prevalent among older adults, affecting up to 15% of those over 60, according to the National Institutes of Health. Several factors contribute to this issue. The body requires sufficient stomach acid and a protein called intrinsic factor to absorb B12 from food. Aging naturally reduces stomach acid production, and conditions like gastritis, acid reflux, or long-term use of antacids or proton pump inhibitors further impair absorption. Diets low in B12-rich foods, such as lean meat, seafood, eggs, dairy, and shellfish, compound the problem, particularly for those following plant-based diets or with limited access to animal products. For example, a vegetarian who doesn't supplement or consume fortified foods may develop a deficiency over 5 to 10 years, as Tyson's muscles, leading to a gradual but steady depletion of B12, weakening the legs and increasing the risk of falls and injuries. The consequences of B12 deficiency are serious and can have lasting effects. Beyond muscle weakness, it can cause irreversible nerve damage, affecting reflexes, balance, and coordination. Older adults with low B12 levels often struggle with walking, experience frequent falls, or feel that their legs no longer respond as they once did. This deterioration is insidious, often dismissed as a natural part of aging when, in reality, it's entirely preventable with proper intervention. Left untreated, B12 deficiency can lead to neurological complications, including difficulty walking, poor balance, and even cognitive decline, all of which significantly reduce quality of life. For example, studies show that untreated B12 deficiency can increase the risk of dementia by 20 to 30%, highlighting its systemic impact. The good news? Restoring B12 levels can dramatically improve strength, endurance, and leg function, often with noticeable results in a matter of weeks. Studies show that older adults who address B12 deficiency regain energy, improve mobility, and reduce their fall risk, reclaiming their ability to move with confidence. To boost B12 intake, focus on animal-based foods like beef, salmon, clams, eggs, and dairy, which are rich in bioavailable sources. For example, a 3-ounce serving of cooked clams provides over 80 micrograms of B12, far exceeding the daily requirement of 2.4 micrograms. For those following plant-based diets or with absorption issues, fortified cereals, plant-based milks, or nutritional yeast can provide some B12, but supplements are often necessary. B12 supplements are safe, as excess is excreted in urine, and injections may be recommended for severe deficiencies or absorption challenges. Regular blood tests, often part of routine checkups for older adults, can monitor B12 levels, ideal range, 200 to 900 pg/ml, and ensure you stay in the optimal range. By maintaining adequate B12, you support the neurological efficiency, reaction time, and coordination needed for strong, responsive legs. This nutrient is a hidden gem in the quest for leg strength, offering a powerful way to preserve mobility and independence as you age. Imagine climbing stairs or walking your dog with ease, knowing your nerves and muscles are firing in perfect harmony. That's the power of B12. For magnesium, the muscle relaxer and bone supporter. Magnesium is a multitasking mineral that works quietly behind the scenes to keep your legs strong, mobile, and free from discomfort. It regulates muscle contractions and relaxation, ensuring each step is smooth, effortless, and free from spasms. Magnesium also reduces fatigue, prevents cramps, and supports endurance, making it a critical nutrient for leg health and overall mobility. Deficiency is alarmingly common in older adults, affecting up to 50% of those over 70, often due to stress, certain medications, such as diuretics or proton pump inhibitors, or diets low in magnesium-rich foods. Symptoms include leg cramps, restless leg syndrome, and reduced stamina, which can disrupt sleep, limit physical activity, and erode quality of life. Nighttime leg cramps, a frequent complaint among older adults, are a telltale sign of magnesium deficiency. These painful spasms, which can wake you from sleep and linger into the morning, signal that the body is struggling to relax muscles, leading to discomfort and difficulty moving. Magnesium also plays a crucial role in bone health by directing calcium to bones rather than soft tissues, where it can cause pain, stiffness, or arterial calcification. Research shows that higher magnesium intake is associated with stronger bones and a lower risk of fractures, making a vital partner to calcium and vitamin D in maintaining skeletal health. For example, A study in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that women with higher magnesium intake had a 3 to 5% higher bone density in the hip and spine. To increase magnesium intake, incorporate foods like nuts, almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, leafy greens, spinach, Swiss chard, legumes, black beans, lentils, avocados, and whole grains. For example, a handful of almonds, about 1 ounce, provides 80 milligrams of magnesium, roughly 20% of the daily requirement for women, 310 to 320 milligrams, and 15% for men, 400 to 420 milligrams. Supplements, such as magnesium citrate or magnesium glycinate, can help those who don't get enough from food, particularly if dietary restrictions or absorption issues are concerned. Restoring magnesium levels alleviates cramps, boosts energy, and enhances balance and coordination, transforming weak, heavy legs into vibrant, capable ones. Magnesium's benefits extend beyond muscles and bones. It also supports joint health by reducing inflammation and stiffness, which can improve mobility and comfort. For example, individuals with osteoarthritis who increase magnesium intake reported a 20% reduction in joint pain over 12 weeks, according to a small clinical trial. By prioritizing magnesium through a balanced diet and, if needed, supplements, you ensure your muscles and bones work in harmony, supporting a life of steady, confident movement. Imagine sleeping through the night without cramps or walking longer distances with ease. That's the power of magnesium. 5. Potassium, the muscle and bone balancer. Imagine stepping out of bed in the morning and immediately feeling a sharp, painful leg cramp. Does this sound familiar? This could be a sign of low potassium, a mineral that plays a critical role in regulating muscle activity by maintaining fluid balance inside and outside cells. Potassium deficiency is a common cause of muscle cramps, particularly in older adults with reduced circulation or muscle mass, affecting up to 30% of those over 65. It also mediates nerve-to-muscle signals, ensuring smooth, controlled movements that power your legs. Low potassium levels lead to shaky, weak legs, stiffness, or difficulty lifting feet, all of which increase the risk of falls and injuries. Potassium's benefits extend to bone health, where it helps neutralize acids that erode bone density, reducing the risk of osteoporosis and maintaining structural strength in the legs. Research indicates that a diet high in potassium can mitigate bone loss, supporting skeletal health and reducing fracture risk. For example, a study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older women with higher potassium intake had a 10% lower risk of hip fractures over a 7-year period. Potassium-rich foods are abundant and delicious, including bananas, avocados, spinach, beans, oranges, and sweet potatoes. Fun fact: a baked potato with the skin offers over 900 milligrams potassium, nearly twice as much as a banana, making it a powerhouse for leg health. Aim for 2,600 milligrams, women, or 3,400 milligrams, men, daily through a varied diet to ensure steady sustenance for your muscles and bones. Supplements may seem like an easy fix, but they require caution, especially for those with kidney issues or high blood pressure, as excessive potassium can cause complications like irregular heart rhythms. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and legumes typically provides sufficient potassium, but consulting a healthcare provider can help determine the right approach, especially if you're on medications that affect potassium levels, such as ACE inhibitors. By prioritizing potassium, you ensure strong, steady legs and healthy joints, keeping you mobile, confident, and ready to tackle the day. Imagine gardening or play with your pets without stiffness. That's the power of potassium. 6. Vitamin K, the calcium director for bone and joint health. Vitamin K is a lesser-known but essential nutrient for leg strength, acting as a traffic controller that directs calcium to bones rather than arteries or soft tissues, where it can cause stiffness, poor circulation, or cardiovascular issues. This nutrient activates osteocalcin, a protein that binds calcium to the bone matrix, improving bone density and reducing fracture risk. Vitamin K also reduces joint inflammation and stiffness, slowing progression of osteoarthritis, and supports muscle strength and coordination by regulating intracellular calcium levels. Deficiency increases the risk of falls, poor balance, and mobility issues, affecting up to 25% of older adults. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, collard greens, and Swiss chard are rich in vitamin K1, providing 100 to 500 micrograms per serving, well above the daily requirement of 90 micrograms women or 120 micrograms men. Fermented foods, natto, aged cheeses, and animal products, liver, egg yolks, provide vitamin K2, which is more effective at channeling calcium to bones and has a longer half-life. Just one daily serving of kale or spinach can significantly boost your vitamin K levels, supporting bone and joint health. Supplements may help those with absorption issues, such as those with Crohn's disease or on long-term antibiotics, but caution is needed for individuals taking blood thinners like warfarin, as vitamin K affects blood clotting. Consult a doctor before increasing intake. By prioritizing vitamin K, you ensure strong bones, supple joints, and coordinated muscles for healthy, mobile legs. Imagine bending to tie your shoes or walking up a hill without knee pain. That's the power of vitamin K. 7. Vitamin B6, the nerve and muscle energizer. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, is a powerhouse for leg strength, supporting nerve function, muscle repair, and protein utilization. It ensures clear nerve communication, preventing tingling, numbness, or shaky gait often mistaken for aging. B6 also reduces inflammation-related muscle fatigue, aiding flexibility and recovery, and supports red blood cell production, delivering oxygen to muscles for sustained endurance. Deficiency, affecting up to 20% of older adults, causes early fatigue, heavy legs, and reduced stamina, making even simple tasks feel exhausting. Foods like chicken, fish, salmon, tuna, bananas, potatoes, chickpeas, and fortified grains are rich sources of B6. For example, a 3-ounce serving of tuna provides 0.9 milligrams of B6, over half the daily requirement of 1.5 milligrams women or 1.7 milligrams men. Adults need these amounts daily, achievable through a balanced diet. Supplements can help those with absorption issues, such as those with celiac disease, but high doses, over 100 milligrams daily, can cause nerve damage, so moderation is key. AB6, rich diet ensures neurological and muscular health, keeping your legs strong, responsive, and ready for action. Imagine hiking a trail or dancing at a wedding with energy to spare. That's the power of B6. Thank you for joining me on this journey to stronger, healthier legs. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a thumbs up to support more content like this. Share your questions, comments, or topic suggestions in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. Subscribe and enable notifications to receive the latest health insights directly to your inbox. Stay well, stay informed, and here's to a future of vibrant mobility and independence.